The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle, where you can access your full potential right now. Finally break free from destructive habits. That dream life, if you want it, you can have it. This is where you transform your health, mind, business, and relationships, or do nothing and keep your life the way it is. But if you're ready for change, you're in the right place. This is where you're gonna learn how to live a habit-based lifestyle. You are tuning in to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle. Let's go.
All right, guys. So I want to welcome you to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Show. Today, I have a very special guest, Dr. CJ Benkert, and she's actually local. So one of our local clients. So CJ, I want to welcome you on the show today.
Thank you.
Can you kind of tell us a little bit about what you do and just kind of how you help clients?
Sure. So originally a chiropractor, and then I went into full-time nutrition coaching 8 years ago. So now I take people through a 12-month transformation program using diet, nutrition, and food.
That's awesome. And you just launched a book. You know, you got to promote that a little bit. So go ahead and tell everybody what it's about.
Okay. So it's called The Diabetic Weight Loss Solution: How to Reverse Your Diabetes and Lose Weight Fast. And I basically go through my whole 12-month coaching program and the different steps that I take clients through systematically in the book, with a lot of client stories woven into the science and the steps so that it's relatable.
Yeah, that's so awesome. So let me ask you this. 8 years ago, what made you transition into just doing nutrition?
I was ready to give up on life. I was ready to, my practice was up for sale. I was burnt out big time. I was ready to just sell my practice, take a few years off in Costa Rica. And I wanted to come back and do full-time nutrition, but I was so burnt out and so sick myself at the time after 20 years of not having a balanced, fulfilled, aligned life.
Wow. Okay. So 8 years ago, you make this transition. Did you get to go to Costa Rica?
No, because I ended up diving into food and fasting and the nutritional component. And I started using myself as a guinea pig, got my life back, got my energy back, started taking my chiropractic patients through this program that I use now. And in the middle of all of that, found somebody to buy my chiropractic practice, because I love chiropractic, but I just didn't want to be adjusting people all day for the next 20 years. And I wanted to really help people at a deeper, internal cellular level. And my experience is it's food and nutrition and fasting that does that. So I got my energy back. I never took a sabbatical. I didn't need one. In fact, my energy went from here to here, and I immediately opened 3 clinics to share my nutrition program with people.
Wow. That's so amazing. So you kind of took, where you were struggling, figured out, kind of how to get yourself out of that. And then now what you're doing is, and what you've been doing the last 8 years is obviously leading people down that same path. And that's what you're passionate about. Do you still have the 3 clinics?
No, I slowly dwindled down. I just shut down my my second clinic. I had 3, went down to 2, had 2 for like the last 5 years. And now with your help and the habit-based lifestyle and my organic marketing that I'm doing on Facebook, I'm attracting clients now from all over the world, basically.
Wow. Okay.
So I just decided to consolidate my efforts into one clinic. My staff runs that. I have health coaches that run that, and I get to play and connect with people online and travel. And yeah, it's really amazing.
So cool. So let's get into kind of like, before coming into habit-based lifestyle, what were you struggling with in your life and kind of in your business?
I've been on a path for a long time, knowing that I wanted an online practice. And what I was struggling with is I felt like I was just giving so much, but I didn't have a strategy for how people, I didn't even think about, oh, how many people are actually seeing this video? And, oh, should I be requesting new friends into my group so that more people see my video? Didn't even occur to me. I just thought I'm just going to go onto Facebook and I'm just going to show up and people are just going to fall into my program. And so I just put all this energy and time, but no clear strategy. And it just wasn't working.
Yeah. Well, don't feel bad. I would say 99.9% of people have a similar strategy, or, we call it kind of like the spray and pray method. I'm going to spray a bunch of content out and then pray somebody winds up just wanting to work with me. Now, so what I'm hearing is you didn't have kind of like a solid plan of like, you knew you had to put out content, but like you weren't really paying attention to who was viewing it, who wasn't viewing it. And then for most people, I find that they have, other people in their industry who's mostly their friends, not actually their ideal clients. And so, even if you were getting people viewing, it's probably more of the clients you didn't really, who weren't going to work with you. They were just mutual friends.
Yes.
So since you've came into the program, what would you say? Let's just say this. What were you struggling with as a business owner, not just, in the marketing aspect, but like, what were you just struggling with as a business owner? Because we're talking about probably the last 2 years that for most people is one of the most challenging times if they weren't making that transition online.
Yeah, I was just struggling with, having these clinics that I used to be able to fill with dinner workshops and, in-person events. And then all of a sudden I couldn't do those anymore. So, okay, I want to be online anyway. And just trying to figure out what was going to work, a webinar here, a challenge here. And it would bring a few people in, but it was just like this constant, scrambling every week, every month. Am I going to make my overhead? Am I going to be able to pay my employees? Like, when is this going to end? It was just struggling with consistency and, having regular, new, fresh faces in front of me that had never heard my message before. It was just the same people. And again, it didn't even occur to me, but I was just talking to the same, 800 people, 1,000 people, if they even saw my stuff to begin with.
Right. Yeah. So one of the things that I heard is, you were doing webinars, you were doing challenges, I'm sure you've done the whole Facebook ad stuff.
Yes.
So you've kind of tried all the marketing and
all of that.
Coming into habit-based lifestyle, what has been the biggest shift for you in like what you've learned here, to what you were doing before?
The biggest shift is I get it now. Like, I hated Facebook before, and now I love it because it's my way of connecting with people, bringing new friends into my personal page so that I can ask them to come into my group, and just getting all these amazing people that have never heard of me into conversations. And I don't have to pay for any of that. And it's organic. And that's one of my values, is connection.
Right.
So Facebook allowed me to connect. I actually love talking with people on Facebook because you have taught me, and the habit-based lifestyle has taught me how to talk to them properly, how to ask them questions the right way so that they figure out on their own, by you just asking the right questions, that there's an issue, that there's a problem, that they want to change the problem, and that you're the person that's going to help them change that problem.
Right. So what I'm hearing is, you've really learned a strategy behind what you're doing now, and now it's became predictable, for you. And so you have an idea of, hey, here's exactly what it takes to get this result. How does that feel when you show up to work now, knowing that you don't have to go do a lunch and learn, you don't have to do a webinar, you're not like running around, trying to do all these things, but now you can just focus on this one thing?
So honestly, and this is, the God honest truth, just yesterday I was thinking about it, because I pretty much work I actually work out of my house. I have a little office. No one else is here. There's no distractions. I don't go into my clinic anymore. So for me, this system has given me like such a sense of relief, but the ultimate feeling it's given me, and again, one of my values is freedom.
Awesome.
So even though I'm working, I love what I'm doing. I'm connecting. I feel like I've retired because I get to do whatever I want, what I want to do, and I set my schedule. So I have that freedom of retirement, or that feeling of retirement, but I'm still working and earning money and helping people at the same time. And it hit me yesterday. It's like, oh my gosh, this is what it feels like to be retired. Free.
That's awesome. So not only have you learned a new system, new strategy that's predictable, but now, you got freedom. You have the freedom to make your own schedule. You have the freedom to kind of get on calls whenever you want and conduct business. And the other cool thing that happened last month was you had your biggest month in how long?
I'd say at least 6 months.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, maybe even longer. I was doing pretty good the beginning of last year, but it was one of my highest months probably ever was last month.
Okay. Awesome. And that was, I think you said around 47,000.
Yeah, it was actually almost 48. It was 47.8.
Nice. That's awesome. And then new clients using, the strategy that you're using inside of the HBL program. How many new clients did you get last month?
9 new clients.
Okay. And so that roughly, pencils out to almost $30,000 in new clients alone. We talked, I remember the meeting we had at my office where we're like, hey, we're going to be hitting 60, 70,000. And you're kind of looking at me like, hey, I don't know if he's crazy or he's not only lost his mind, but he lost his hair with it. So
yeah. And, when you put the work in, because in the beginning, it was a lot, to implement, and it was different for me. But, once it got going and I got the consistency down, because, you gotta show up. You gotta show up every day. You gotta do the work every day. But as I got more consistent with it, it got easier and easier. It wasn't like, okay, what do I post today? And it got to a point where it was fun. And so once things started moving, then I really started seeing the activity and the interest and, the regular discovery calls being scheduled. And I just get to get on the, Zoom call with people and I keep it to 15 minutes like you taught us and ask the right questions. And, they sell themselves based on the questions that we've been taught how to ask them.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Well, what do you feel like is different, from all the things you've tried in the past, the webinars, the Facebook ads, I know we talked a little bit about connection, but a lot of times we get compared to a marketing company, and I tell people like, hey, we're not a marketing company. We're so much more than that. But what would you say the type of company we are when it comes to, business?
Top notch, high integrity. I've had a lot of coaches. I've spent a lot of money on programs. And I honestly would say I've never had the support that you provide, the daily coaching calls that you provide. Nobody's ever done that. Nobody's showed up every single day. And just the camaraderie, and that there's a whole group of other coaches and doctors and business entrepreneurs that are doing the same thing. And we just all help each other. So the difference is the level of integrity, the support, and, it works. It's a sustainable, profitable system that works. And then the last thing I want to add in is it's not just about marketing. It's about you living your best balanced life, figuring out what makes you tick, what you love, being able to spend time with your family. So it's not just marketing and Facebook and clients, but you teach us how to live a balanced lifestyle. Also, if you want to go down that road, and show up for your partner or your wife, show up for your kids and set targets and reach your goals and have a specific system on how to get to where you want to get in life, not just business.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, I mean, I've screwed that one up before. So I learned, and luckily I get to teach other people, similar to you, right? We struggle in some area and we kind of find a new way to do things. And then we want to teach that to other people. And that's obviously what I'm passionate about. But I love the fact that when you came in, I remember you were doing a lot of videos and I said, CJ, you don't have to do so many videos. And you said, yeah, I do. And so one of the things that I loved about you is you were willing to do the work. And that's really the type of client that does the best inside of our program. And that's really why I believe you've been able to be successful, is because we give you kind of the framework, but you still got to do the work. And that's what I've seen from you. So I just want to tell you, super proud of you, because I know when you came into our office and we did some one-on-one work, you were a little bit frustrated with your results, but it seems like since that day, you've really kind of taken that leap and said, okay, like it's up to me to get the results and do the work. And you just took off and did it. And so it's been amazing to watch.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. What's been an unexpected result? Maybe something you weren't thinking you were going to get out of this, but you see now that you have.
Well, just how much I love connecting with people. And then I get to meet people from all over the world. And it hasn't been just clients coming in to go through my program, but I've been able to develop, collaborations with, other women business owners, like retreat leaders, and just the connection with other people has really fulfilled me and has extended my network of people that I can rely on and look to, because we all have limited, gifts. So expand the tribe and bring in those like-minded people, not just clients, but other people that are out there that can support you and collaborate with you at the same time.
So awesome. I love that.
I wanted to say that, I'm who you were probably 8 years ago, and my client is who I was 8 years ago. So we help ourselves, we grow, we mature. So, because we want to turn around and we want to help our old past self from 7, 8, 10 years ago. That's who we're looking for.
Yeah.
Person that's struggling where we were, so we don't have to go through as much pain. We can give them more of a system to get from A to B quicker.
Yeah, so true. I mean, I always think of like our mess was, our mission turns into our mission. Our pain kind of turns into our power, and we all struggle at some point in our lives, and we will. But I think the important thing is that we can turn around and help someone who maybe have struggled in the same way. And that's what's really cool about, what we see you doing every single day is just being able to help more and more people. I think what's really cool is how many people you can help online versus how many people you can help and meet online versus how many people can you help and meet in person, and just the exponential growth to what you can see. So, and I know you've been around a long time. I remember back in the day when you go to the grocery store and you hand out a business card and hope somebody would call. Now, you have the opportunity to do that, leveraging social media, which is really cool.
Yeah. The internet's definitely changed our world.
Love the fish tank, by the way. I think every time you get on a call and I see the fish tank, I'm like, man, that thing makes me happy.
Very relaxing, right?
Yeah. Let me ask you this. What would you tell someone who maybe was on the fence to purchasing this program and they're like, man, I don't know if this is going to work for me?
Yeah. Well, I would say it works 100%. But as Jesse stated earlier, you have to be willing to put in the work, and you have to want to transform your life and be successful. So if you're on the fence and you're willing to do the work and you're willing to show up, it'll absolutely work. It'll completely change your business 100%.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, hey, I really appreciate you being on here. I love seeing the results you're getting, and I love hearing about the freedom that you have in your life and in your business now. And I think that might be one of the best things I've heard all month is that alone. So yeah. And we obviously, we love the financial results people get, but when you say, hey, I actually have some freedom, and I feel like I'm semi-retired. I mean, who doesn't want that? Right. And so, we love having you inside a habit-based lifestyle, and we're super proud of the work you're doing and you continue to do and the people you're helping.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you
So,
for
yeah.
all your, thank you for being here and doing what you do to make it possible.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, thank you so much for being on. Yeah.
You're a huge mentor of mine. You inspire me. You make me more.
All
Because
right.
I want to live up to, your consistency and your discipline that you have. And I see that, and I saw it from day one. And you've inspired me to be more disciplined and more mature and show up.
Well, that's great. Thank you. Well, now that I know that, I got to keep going, right?
It's true. It's so true.
So, all right. Well, thanks for being on.
The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse